Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today you're joining us with Ryan's Green Mini. This is a K20C1 swap. We've done the wiring on this car through the lockdown last year. So if you want to come take a look around it, it's just been for mapping today. So we'll have a little look around, go out for a drive afterwards and get a bit of a feel for what the power's like now. Okay, so we helped Ryan out with this car last year in the wiring. We effectively took an FK2 complete wire harness, stripped it down, worked out which plugs need to go where, and then started to invert it, putting obviously the engine in the boot, fuse boxes back up front, fuel tank back up front now as well. If you have a look inside, you'll start to see some of the units that we've kept hold of. So in the dash, you've got all the mid units there. Up the top, you've also got the speedometer from the Civics. We put in a couple of Civic cowl switches which allow for traction control to be varied, as well as the switchable maps which are then part of Civics. Okay, so the Mini's using a Civic S7 ECU. We went for this because Ryan, the customer, he wanted to keep some form of traction control on the car. So the way we've done that is we fitted ABS rings to each corner of the car, a small, a sensor, just a Hall effect sensor on top, and then that could feed back into Civics so that we can then monitor road speed and then start to vary ignition timing and fueling in accordance to trying to keep the car getting the power down. Take a look around the back. Ryan decided to put an intercooler in the rear here, so ducting from the sides. We've got two small fans assist on the very sides, and then just normal airflow through the top. Getting into the car is quite a squeeze. It's tight to say the least. So we still use keyless on this car. We kept some of the RF units which allow us to then have the key in and out the car and it function exactly as an FK2 should. You can go over to the R+ mode and then get all the gauges that we had previously on the Civics. Probably seen half of this already, but Ryan's got a bit of a fetish for carbon. So since leaving us, he's had a new carbon bonnet and carbon roof this time around. It's little details on this car that I really like the fact that Ryan's gone for LED front lights for the indicators as well. It's just little modernising touches to the classic Mini that I feel it really benefits from. Okay, so if we come back round to the intake side of things, we've got the Venturi FK8 carbon turbo tube. Then what we ended up doing here to get it to fit the Mini, rather than using what we were going to use was FK2 V2 intake, which as most of you know will then curve back towards the wrong way for what we're doing here in all intents and purposes. So what we ended up doing was cutting up an RS3 intake there, so you've got a part of a carbon tube through this section. We then went back to an FK2 pod and then finished up with one of the Mini facing surrounds to then mount it into the window with a blow moulded bit of perspex to then duct the air in. Works really well, quite happy with how it actually turned out. Hopefully we'll see this car out on track soon. Well, that was an experience. It's lively, all over the road. You can barely hear yourself think as you're driving in here. Your eyes are vibrating. Yeah, it's an experience to say the least. So if you like the video, hit the like, share and subscribe buttons, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time.